Does God write songs? Ezekiel 28 reveals even more about God's musical interests. In verse 12, God tells Ezekiel, "Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus says the Lord God, You sealed up the sum, full of wisdom, and perfect in beauty." This entire lamentation is addressed to the king of Tyre, which is another name for Satan. It recounts his fall. Lamentation can be variously translated elegy, dirge and mournful song. We will get into the content of this song in a moment, but realize what is occurring here. God gave these lyrics to Ezekiel. They even start with, "Thus says the Lord God." We cannot know if he also gave the prophet the musical composition as well, but it is very likely he did. In the very least, God commissioned Ezekiel to compose it on his behalf. Yet there is another element we can learn from Ezekiel 28. Music is an important outlet for proper emotions. This can be joy and other positive feelings, but also sorrow and mourning. It can be a way to process death or loss. Balance is required here once again. If a song or type of music we listen to causes wrong feelings or emotions, such as hatred or lust, it should be avoided. We have to be honest with ourselves. Lyrical content must also be vetted. Start again in Ezekiel 28:12, "Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, you sealed up the sum, full of wisdom, and perfect in beauty." God created Lucifer full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. He also gave this angelic being an incredible purpose. "You are the anointed cherub that covers, and I have set you so, you are upon the holy mountain of God, you have walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire," verses 14. Finally, "You were perfect in your ways from the day that you were created, till iniquity was found in you," verses 15. Imagine how God felt in this situation. He created a near-perfect angel to be the anointed cherub that covers. That means Lucifer would have been near God's throne. The Father had an incredibly close relationship with Satan before his fall. God would have felt betrayed and saddened by Satan's actions. Ultimately, he seems to have used music to help process what happened. There is also a warning contained in Ezekiel 28. Verse 13 states that the workmanship of your tabrets and of your pipes was prepared in you in the day that you were created. Tabrets and pipes referred to here are musical instruments, indicating Lucifer had incredible musical prowess. As the prince of the power of the air, F. 2:2, Satan broadcasts sinful attitudes and emotions throughout earth. This influence steeps into much of the music created today. Of course, this does not mean all music is devilish and Satan-inspired. There is a lot of interesting, varied, and high-quality music out there. It just requires some work to unearth. Does God write songs? Ezekiel 28 reveals even more about God's musical interests. In verse 12, God tells Ezekiel, "Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus, and say unto him, Thus says the Lord God, You sealed up the sum, full of wisdom, and perfect in beauty."